For me, I think I knew, I think just like, Izzy, really is interested in fintech. I knew that I was really wanted to do something. I was really focused on biotechnology. And for people without an MD or PhD, there are really about 4 or 5 funds that recruit as early as banking, and take you on where you have a vote with all the other partners. You're on the same level as them. You make investment decisions, even though you don't have the professional degree, and you're still able to really play in the space. And I think there's like NEA, Bancap Life Sciences. There's like a 5 a.m. F Prime. There's a couple others now. But I kind of, sort of just knew that early on, and you can kind of just tell from going to the company website, and reading, the backgrounds of people, and who tends to gravitate towards the firm and what they do. I think for me, it definitely was important to have, like an idea of a firm that I really liked. I managed to end up being friends with a guy from my dance team in college who roomed with someone who was an associate at NEA. Managed to get him on the phone like 30 minutes before I think my first round interview. And even those 30 minutes were so helpful in understanding how the fund thinks about investing, how they think they're differentiated versus other firms, and then what like the day-to-day or the role would be like. So if you can get that for maybe 3 or 4 funds that you would be interested in, you just get that kind of second level of a confirmation of kind of maybe understanding a bit more about the work and the job. But I think it's important to have one in mind, because like venture, the recruiting cycle is like very unstructured. I think as you was saying earlier. So if you have a couple firms on your radar and you're in contact with HR, or like you're going through like a Bellcast or a Sage or Glowcap that's covering one of these VC firms, it may not be as predictable as PE or hedge fund in terms of like when the process is going to start, and like when you're going to be interviewing. So you may get a call one day to be like, look, can you look at this company and do a case study like the next day? And if that's if you've done the work and that's a firm you really want to do, then it's kind of a no-brainer to kind of like maybe put banking work on the back burner for 2 days and pull on either or do a case study, versus if you don't really know where you want to go, what you want to do, and you have like multiple firms reaching out to you randomly, because this could be whenever they have openings, right? January, March, all these VC firms, they kind of raise a fund at like different times sometimes. You might be blindsided, stuck trying to go all out in different processes. For me, I was also in the process for Bain Cap Life Sciences, and like one thing that I knew from talking to people at both firms is that like at NEA, like an associate gets a vote on every single deal, just like a partner or principal. I really appreciated that. And at Bain Cap, there was more of a hierarchy in terms of deal approval and kind of like the thought process there. And while I think it's more stressful to kind of have like weight on the same level as like a smaller team, I just really wanted that just from a learning experience and from a kind of pressure I could kind of put on myself to develop a perspective. So I dropped out of the Bain Cap process, I think, as soon as I got my final round at NEA. So, and that helped me really focus. I think if I didn't focus on one firm in recruiting and was spread out pretty thin, I really would not have been able to kind of function or speak well, and I kind of talk through my story. I think as well or as half as well as I did in 2018.